When the ugly pony's dream of having a beautiful appearance like a unicorn comes true, she instantly becomes an international pop star, but with unexpected consequences. Thelma is a young pony who loves singing and always dreams of becoming a famous idol. She has been working hard on her songs and formed a band with her friends, Otis and Reggie. Otis is a farm donkey who's an expert at playing guitar, and Reggie, the llama, handles the drums. Together, they are called the Rusty Buckets. After finishing their legendary performance, Thelma gets ready for long-awaited wish, crowd surfing. Unfortunately, it's all just a dream for now, but an opportunity is knocking at their door. A singing competition is around the corner and the Rusty Buckets are ready for it. Till then, Thelma and her friends continue working on their jobs, but their minds are stuck on the auditions. They have been trying for 10 years but never reached the big stage they deserve. Otis advises Thelma to stop worrying about playing music on a big stage. Any place is fine until they are playing music together. However, Thelma wants to be famous like the singing dolphin Nikki. Her latest video has broken the internet. Everything about her may be fake, including her horn, but that doesn't matter when she is performing at the biggest music festival, Sparklepalooza. Thelma wishes to be in the dolphin's place instead of working in the farm and carrying stinky animal dung. Her biggest competitor in the auditions right now is the horses, who are trained with professional singers. While trying to avoid them, Thelma slips and all the dung falls over her. The horses make fun of her and advise Thelma not to bother embarrassing herself again in the auditions. Later that night during the auditions, the horses give a spectacular performance and earn the favor of the judges. The next is Rusty Bucket's turn. Thelma is really nervous and gradually walks to the mic to introduce her band. But before she can finish her sentence, the judges ask for the next contestant. Thelma gets shocked and asks for a chance to perform, but the judges say that she doesn't have the look of a star. An idol should have the spark that lights up the stage as soon as he steps on it. Thelma gets depressed and isolates herself from everyone. Otis can't see her like this and brings a board game to distract her. A unicorn character catches Thelma's eye, but Otis says that it's a rare character that can only be acquired at really high game level because everyone loves unicorns. This makes Thelma wonder why she isn't as eye-catching as the unicorn. No matter how many times she tries, she will never succeed in this career because of his ordinary looks. The next day at work, Thelma finds a carrot and she puts it on like a horn. It makes her realize how stunning she will look as a unicorn. Thelma shows it to Otis, but he doesn't understand her point and asks for more explanation. While they are distracted, a truck driver accidentally crashes at the farm and drops some paint and glitter on Thelma. She turns into a pink unicorn with silver hair and magic dust. Thelma starts jumping in joy and asks Otis to take some pictures to post on Instagram. She wants to create a new profile as a unicorn and delete the old one. Otis tries to explain to her that the old Thelma is the real Thelma, but she doesn't listen to him. Suddenly, a little girl stops at the farm to have a closer look at Thelma. She takes some pictures with Thelma and posts them online. Soon the whole farm gets lined up with people who want to take pictures and ask questions from Thelma. They want to know what magical powers she has, so Thelma says that she can sing. The audience starts begging for a song, so Thelma asks her band to go get their instruments. This is the chance they were looking for. The people who never paid attention to Thelma's talent are now vibing with her song. The news reporters reach there too, and broadcast the performance live to the whole world. Everyone starts listening to Thelma's music, and can't stop themselves from admiring her talent and captivating looks. After saying goodbye to her fans, Thelma tries to believe what just happened. People loved her song. Otis agrees, but now he wants Thelma to wash herself and get back to reality, but she immediately refuses. This is all she ever wanted. Finally, she's special, and others are paying attention to her. With her viral look, the Rusty Buckets will finally get a chance in the music industry. Before Otis can say anything, Thelma starts showing her videos on social media. It has broken the internet. Soon they will be as famous as the Nikki Dolphin. Unaware of her upcoming competitor, Nikki is busy enjoying her luxurious life with her dancer team, the Pool Boys. Her assistant, Megan, brings the schedule and asks Nikki to get ready for a busy day. Suddenly, her manager, Vic Diamond, arrives and informs Nikki about the awful review of her last show. Nikki doesn't care about it because her fans still love her songs. Hearing this, Megan checks the music charts and reveals that Nikki's songs are losing popularity. Her fame is on life support, and they need a hit song to get back to the top. Otherwise, her career will be dead. Nikki still behaves as arrogant as before and asks Vic to fix everything. Meanwhile, Thelma is busy playing board games with Otis. Suddenly, they hear some sounds and follow them to find Peggy Purvis in the house. She is a legendary music producer who retired years ago, as Peggy is blind so she can't see how Thelma looks. She only came here because she admires Thelma's music. Peggy believes that Thelma is gifted with a melodious voice, and she can make anybody become a fan. All she needs is to launch an album, and Peggy is here for it. Thelma gets really overwhelmed and can't believe she has reached a real music studio. The wall is full of famous singers, and soon Rusty Buckets will be there too. Thelma asks if Peggy can take them to Sparklepalooza, but Peggy refuses to promise anything. If Thelma wants to reach there, she must sing the truth, and must sing it from the heart. Thelma agrees, and gets ready to work on her next song. They spend days and visit different places to get inspiration for their song. They finally get ready for their final recording, but it gets interrupted by a call from Vic Diamond. He wants to introduce the unicorn in Nikki's show tonight, but Peggy refuses the offer because she doesn't trust him. Vic accuses her of standing in the way of Thelma's success, so Peggy asks Thelma for a second opinion. Thelma immediately agrees and gets excited for this great opportunity. Otis asks Thelma to wash off the paint first, but Thelma doesn't want to risk anything that can ruin her chance tonight. They run to the airport where Vic's private jet arrives to pick them up. Vic ignores everyone else and focuses on Thelma. He admires her beauty and gives her diamond bracelets. Thelma mentions her band, but Vic doesn't seem fond of them. After landing, Vic gets in the car with Thelma and asks the rest of them to take another car. In the middle of their ride, Vic throws a missile at the other car and destroys its engine. Peggy gets stuck with Otis and Reggie on the road while Thelma is dropped at the theater. She tells Vic to wait for her band, but Vic says that the band has abandoned her because they aren't ready for the big stage. Thelma can't lose this opportunity, so she decides to perform alone. She gets on the stage and introduces herself as Thelma the Unicorn. Afterward, she sings her favorite song and leaves the audience in awe. Vic uses all the special effects and extra spotlight to make the performance more magical. He even delays Nikki's performance to give more time to Thelma. The audience has already forgotten about Nikki and gets lost in Thelma's singing. Vic says goodbye to the dolphin and gets ready to start a new record with Thelma. Nikki gets angry and jumps on the stage. Due to her violent behavior, she loses all of her fans. Thelma still wants to go back to Peggy, but Vic advises her to join his company if she really wants to reach the Sparklepalooza. To convince Thelma, he even lies that her band can join her later. Thelma agrees on this condition and signs the contract. As she steps out of the theater, fans gather at the entrance to get her autographs and photos. Suddenly, she notices Otis and asks him where he was. Otis tries to explain the missile incident, but Thelma assumes that he's making up stories because he didn't want to be on the big stage. If her band is not going to join her, then Thelma is going to live this dream alone. The next day, the news channels get flooded with updates about Nikki's downfall and Thelma's success. Nikki believes that she can get back her place if Thelma is destroyed. So she calls Megan and asks her to dig in Thelma's past, because everyone has some dirty little secrets. Unfortunately, Thelma does have a secret, and it's bigger than anyone can imagine. She also feels bad for deceiving people and starts thinking how to reveal the truth without losing her fame. Moreover, she regrets leaving behind Peggy and her band. As soon as Vic arrives, Thelma tells him that she's not actually a unicorn. Vic doesn't get surprised because he already knew it. He even uses fake teeth for himself to gain attention. Vic believes that truth is the death of success. In the world of showbiz, everything depends upon how you look. Thelma gives in and asks Vic for success advice. He starts with telling her how change is important for a celebrity. One must keep doing something new every day to gain public attention. It can be a new hairstyle, makeup, or clothes. Secondly, Thelma should have a unique odor to announce her presence, and also turn this odor into a perfume to sell at a high price. Vic also changed his personality, and even his name to gain popularity. Thirdly, partnership with other stars can increase your popularity, because two is always better than one. For this purpose, Vic takes Thelma to meet a horse named Danny Stallion. He's a YouTube star who got viral overnight by his unique way of chewing and speaking. Thelma just needs to get near him and become a viral couple. Thelma nervously introduces herself, but Danny whispers to her to act more lovely. He's also pretending to have a unique accent because he needs to pay his medical college fee. To gain fame and money, the celebrities must give fans what they want. Saying this, Danny asks Thelma to pose with big smiles for the media. Meanwhile, Otis has lost his senses, and he keeps playing board games in memory of his friend, Thelma. Reggie asks him to move on because Thelma has already announced Danny as her new bandmate. She has even launched a lot of products to promote their duo. Now it's time to produce their first song. Vic Diamond takes them to his studio called the Huge Sellout Records, because everything he makes here sells out immediately. Thelma gets shocked to see this place because there aren't any real musical instruments. She pulls out her notebook where she writes lyrics and melodies, but Vic says that they don't need it here. They just need a funky idea, and the AI music machine will generate the whole song. Danny suggested making a song about Cud, which he used in his viral video. The idea seems ridiculous, but somehow it works, and the song reaches the top of the music charts. All of the albums in Thelma's perfumes also sell like hot buns. It's not the type of songs Thelma wanted to represent, but the taste of success has made her forget everything else. Meanwhile, Nikki is observing everything from afar and asks Megan to launch their plan. The next morning, Thelma holds her first fan sign event. Otis and Reggie also arrive there to congratulate Thelma. They introduce her to a goat who's going to be their new bandmate. This makes Thelma a little jealous. She misses the good old days when she actually enjoyed singing with the people she loved. Now she is stuck with weirdos and low-quality music. Suddenly, a group of mysterious boys breaks into the event and throws eggs at Thelma. They are sent by Megan, who's secretly clicking embarrassing pictures of Thelma. With the help of the security, Thelma reaches the hotel room but keeps getting more and more depressed. She stares at her songbook and decides to call Otis. Before she could, Vic Diamond started calling her. He has finally made arrangements for Thelma's performance at the Sparkle Palooza. Thelma gets excited and forgets about talking to Otis. Later that night, Thelma arrives at a music award show and shines at the red carpet. Vic points out a makeup flaw, so Thelma rushes to the restroom to fix it. Suddenly, Megan steps out of one of the stalls and shows a picture she clicked today. It clearly shows Thelma's horn moving out of its place. Thelma tries to make up a story, but Megan throws a whole bucket of water on her. She keeps filming the whole scene and threatens to share it on the internet. Thelma begs her for mercy and offers to pay anything in return, but Megan wants to get rid of her. Thelma gives up and promises to disappear like she never existed. Megan agrees to this deal and leaves. Vic is looking for Thelma everywhere, but he also doesn't recognize her without the pink paint and glitter. She even wins the Best Music Award but can't receive it. Vic gets on the stage and announces that Thelma has mysteriously disappeared. Everyone starts looking for her while Thelma walks out of the exit door, throws her songbook in the trash, and rides a bus to nowhere. From the next day, the entire world gets in mourning after learning about the sudden disappearance. Volunteers are looking for her everywhere, but it feels like all the magic and hope is lost in the world. Otis and Reggie are looking for her too, but there's no sign. 2 weeks pass away, but no one succeeds in finding Thelma. Meanwhile, Thelma is wandering in the deserts. A kind truck driver gives her a ride, and Thelma finally gets a chance to talk to someone about how she feels. She feels like her whole life was a lie. The truck driver can understand because he has been lying to his wife about his job. Thelma advises him to tell the truth because if his wife loves him, she will love him no matter what. The truck driver agrees and says no matter what happens, it will be better than living a lie. This makes Thelma take a big decision. She asks the truck driver to turn the wheels as they are going back to their city. She meets Otis and apologizes for leaving them like this. She has made a huge mess and must fix it as soon as possible. She thought becoming a unicorn will make her dreams become true, but it actually made Thelma lose her real friends. Now she will be happy to play music anywhere as long as it's with her friends. But Otis says it's time to show everyone who the real Thelma is. Sparkle Palooza is about to begin, and no one can stop Rusty Buckets from getting on the stage. Thousands of fans from all over the globe have gathered for Sparkle Palooza, the biggest music event of the year. Big stars will be performing in place of Thelma, but her fans still hope that their sweet unicorn will return. Meanwhile, Thelma and her friends enter the venue through the back exit door. Nikki's staff members catch them, but Peggy volunteers to handle them. Megan sees Thelma on CCTV footage and grabs her phone to share the video, but it runs out of battery. Thelma and her bandmates reach backstage and lock the door, but Nikki and Megan are hiding there already. While trying to catch the Rusty Buckets, they accidentally hits the electric wires and the platform starts rising to the stage. Before getting in the spotlight, Thelma dresses up as the unicorn again. She tells everyone that she always wanted to be on this stage but never knew it will happen because of how she looked. But then, she turned into a unicorn, and people started paying attention to her. But this is not the real her. Saying this, Thelma wipes off the paint. The audience seems disappointed and depressed, but Thelma starts her song anyway. People finally start seeing her real talent and cheer for her. After finishing the performance, Thelma gets ready to do what she has been waiting for years, crowd surfing.